Imagine you're 25 years old. You land your first high-paying job, and for the first time in your life, you feel like you've made it. A few weeks later, a bank offers you a credit card with a generous limit. Buy now, pay later, they say. It feels harmless. You buy a new phone, a designer watch, maybe even finance a luxury car. The monthly payments seem small, so you don't think twice, but months turn into years, and before you realize it, you're no longer working to build your future. You're working to pay for your past. This story isn't rare. In fact, it's the reality for millions of people around the world. Every month they receive a paycheck, only to watch a large part of it disappear into loan payments and credit card interest. The saddest part is that most of them don't even realize they're trapped. They believe debt is normal because everyone around them is doing the same thing. But Warren Buffett has spent decades warning people about this silent financial trap. Buffett once said, "If you're smart, you're going to make a lot of money without borrowing." At first, that statement sounds almost too simple. After all, banks encourage borrowing. Advertisements make debt look convenient. Society tells us that financing expensive things is just part of modern life. So why would one of the greatest investors in history avoid it whenever possible? The answer is simple. Warren Buffett understands that every dollar you pay in interest is a dollar that can never work for you. Imagine planting a tree. Instead of letting it grow bigger every year, someone cuts off a branch every single month. Eventually, that tree will never reach its full potential. That's exactly what bad debt does to your money. It quietly steals the wealth you could have built if you had simply kept those dollars invested instead of handing them over to a lender. The surprising truth is that becoming wealthy isn't only about earning more money. Many people with high salaries still struggle financially because their income is already committed to loans, credit cards, and unnecessary expenses. Buffett believes true financial freedom begins the moment your money starts working for you instead of working for someone else. And that's why staying away from bad debt isn't just good advice. It's one of the most powerful wealth-building rules you'll ever learn. To understand Buffett's thinking, let's imagine two friends, David and Michael. Both graduate from college at the same time, both get jobs paying $60,000 a year, and both dream of becoming financially successful. On paper, their futures look exactly the same. But one small decision changes everything. David believes he deserves to enjoy life immediately. He finances a brand new car, buys the latest gadgets with his credit card, and upgrades to an apartment that's beyond his budget. Every month, he tells himself, it's just one more payment. At first, nothing seems wrong, but slowly, those monthly payments begin to pile up. His paycheck arrives, and most of it is already spoken for. Michael takes a different path. Instead of borrowing to impress people, he buys a reliable used car, avoids unnecessary loans, and saves whatever money is left at the end of each month. His lifestyle isn't flashy, but he sleeps peacefully because he knows he doesn't owe anyone. More importantly, the money David spends on interest, Michael invests for his future. 10 years later, the difference is shocking. David is earning more than ever, yet he's still stressed about bills and debt. Michael isn't just debt-free. His investments have been quietly growing year after year. The difference wasn't intelligence or luck. They started with the same income. The only difference was that one allowed interest to work against him, while the other allowed compounding to work for him. This is exactly what Warren Buffett wants people to understand. Debt compounds just like investments do, but in the opposite direction. When you invest wisely, compound interest slowly makes you richer. But when you carry high-interest debt, that same compounding effect quietly makes you poorer. That's why Buffett says one of the smartest financial decisions isn't finding the perfect investment. It's avoiding financial mistakes that steal your future before you even have a chance to build it. One of the biggest reasons Warren Buffett stays away from bad debt is because debt steals your freedom. Imagine the stock market suddenly crashes, just like it did in 2008. Great companies are selling at huge discounts, and smart investors know it's the perfect time to buy. But if you're already buried under credit card bills, car loans, and monthly payments, you can't take advantage of those opportunities. Your money is already committed somewhere else. Buffett believes cash gives you options, while debt takes those options away. This is exactly what happened during the 2008 financial crisis. While millions of people were struggling to pay their loans and selling investments out of fear, Warren Buffett was doing the opposite. He had stayed financially disciplined for years, so when everyone else was forced to sell, he had billions of dollars ready to invest. He bought stakes in strong companies at prices most people could only dream of. That crisis made him even wealthier, not because he was lucky, but because he was prepared. Buffett often says that opportunities come to those who are ready. But how can you be ready if every paycheck is already gone before it even reaches your bank account? Bad debt doesn't just cost you money, it costs you choices. It limits your ability to start a business, invest in a great company, or even handle an unexpected emergency. Financial freedom isn't just about having money, it's about having the power to decide what to do with it. There's another lesson hidden in Buffett's life that many people overlook. Even after becoming one of the richest people in the world, he never felt the need to show off his wealth. He still lives far below his means because he understands that real success isn't about looking rich, it's about staying rich. Many people borrow money to impress strangers they'll never meet again. Buffett believes that's one of the most expensive mistakes anyone can make. Before buying anything with borrowed money, Buffett would probably ask one simple question. Will this purchase make my future stronger, or will it make my future more expensive? It's a question that sounds simple, but it has the power to change every financial decision you make. Because every dollar you save from unnecessary interest is another dollar that can be invested to build the life you've always wanted. There's one thing that surprises many people about Warren Buffett. Even though he has enough money to buy almost anything in the world, he has never believed that happiness comes from owning more expensive things. He believes true wealth is having the freedom to live life on your own terms. And that freedom becomes almost impossible when every financial decision is controlled by debt. The more you owe, the fewer choices you have. The less you owe, the more control you have over your future. Think about two different kinds of people. One person receives a salary increase and immediately upgrades their car, moves into a bigger house, and starts spending more because they believe they can afford it. The other person gets the same raise but continues living the same lifestyle. Instead of increasing expenses, they increase their investments. 10 years later, the first person is still making monthly payments, while the second person owns assets that generate income. The difference isn't how much they earned, it's how they use their money. This is why Buffett believes every dollar has a job. You can either spend it on something that loses value tomorrow, or you can invest it in something that creates more value over time. Money is like an employee. If you spend it on unnecessary debt, that employee leaves forever. But if you invest it wisely, it keeps working for you every single day, even while you're sleeping. That's the real meaning of financial freedom. One of Buffett's greatest strengths has always been self-control. He never makes decisions because everyone else is doing it. He doesn't chase trends, and he certainly doesn't borrow money just to maintain a certain lifestyle. He understands that building wealth is a marathon, not a sprint. Small, disciplined decisions repeated over many years will always beat emotional decisions made in a single moment. So before taking on any new debt, pause for a moment and ask yourself, is this helping me build my future, or is it simply satisfying a temporary desire? That one question can protect you from years of financial stress. Warren Buffett's rule number 6 isn't about never borrowing under any circumstances. It's about making sure debt never becomes the reason your dreams stay out of reach. In the end, Warren Buffett's sixth rule isn't really about debt. It's about freedom. The less money you owe, the more control you have over your life. You can take risks, invest in opportunities, change careers, or even start your own business without constantly worrying about monthly payments. That's the kind of freedom Buffett has protected throughout his life, and it's one of the biggest reasons he was able to build extraordinary wealth over time. The truth is, banks and lenders want you to believe that debt is normal because that's how they make money. Warren Buffett wants you to believe something different. He wants you to understand that the best financial life is the one where your money works for you, not where you spend years working to pay interest. Every dollar you keep today becomes another opportunity for your future. Every unnecessary loan you avoid is another step toward financial independence. So, the next time you're tempted to buy something you can't truly afford, stop for a moment and remember Buffett's advice. Ask yourself, do I really need this today, or can I wait until I can buy it without borrowing? That single decision may not seem important right now, but repeated over years, it can completely change your financial future. Wealth is rarely built through one big decision. It's built through hundreds of small, smart choices made consistently. Warren Buffett didn't become one of the world's greatest investors because he always earned the most money. He became successful because he protected his money, stayed disciplined, and refused to let unnecessary debt steal his future. That's a lesson anyone can apply, no matter how much they earn or where they start. Financial freedom isn't reserved for billionaires. It begins with the choices you make today. If you found this episode valuable, make sure to like this video, subscribe to Money That Multiplies, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next lesson. In the next episode, we'll uncover Warren Buffett's final and most powerful rule: be patient. It's the habit that transformed simple investments into billions of dollars, and it might be the one lesson that changes the way you think about money forever. See you in the next episode.